Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. To throw is Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when
and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is When they know that the defense can take the ball away as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Now Foles. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's Foles. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely, great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 13 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. Go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
13.
He'll get it up the middle. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to her. Now McKinnon. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
After review of the play,
well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all...
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jerick McKinnon, his third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing out. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Foles. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That good for 19 and a first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He throws, and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's taken down inside the 30. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a first down as well.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
If you rank 1 from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, 1 from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 and 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays. We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
They started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw here. And Thomas has it. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the 1st. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, yeah.
Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touch. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, Garoppolo. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. 20! Open man is Pettis. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers! Dante Pettis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they took the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This one fielded at the 5.
Let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Point after, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. So thanks to the late field goal. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. There's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he's got this down to the 35. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Easy.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He'll drop to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And always going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They run it here. Warner. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll find Taylor, that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the 49ers have moved out in front. Well, he's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, He hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Foles. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Foles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Foles. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Foles. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. DeForest Buckner coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And on the ground they go with a running back. Open space inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, Those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give him even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. He picks up 7 yards there, but they're still faced with a difficult 3rd and goal here.
Here we go, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on deep.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 22. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. He's back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
They'll look to throw here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Reuben Foster in there to sack him for a loss of 6. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so barring a first down, they could conceivably get the ball back.
So now it's all about defense and stopping the clock. Don't give up any yardage, right? Use your timeouts. And your offense always practices going downfield without timeouts. You know, those 2-minute drills, most of them are run in practice without the benefit of timeouts. They want to make it as tough a situation as possible. They're in it right now.
Here again is McKinnon. He will push his way down to about the 14. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. The Niners on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
McKinnon. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet. Okay, being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So some drama down to the very end of this ball game, Charles, on that final kickoff. They were open to break free, some sort of miracle play, but they couldn't do it.
They had a chance, and that was their only opportunity to try and bring it all the way back. As you noted, they weren't able to get that done, but at least they had the shot. What a tremendous game to be this close and this well contested.
So for San Francisco, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town.